Once upon a time, there was a kind and honest woodcutter named Ahmed. He lived near a forest and earned his living by cutting wood and selling it in the market. Ahmed had only one axe, and he took great care of it because it was his most valuable possession. One day, while cutting a tree near a river, Ahmed's axe slipped from his hands and fell into the water. The river was deep, and Ahmed couldn't swim. He sat on the riverbank, feeling sad and worried. "How will I earn a living without my axe?" he thought. Suddenly, a bright light appeared and a fairy rose from the river. She asked, "Why are you so sad, dear woodcutter?" Ahmed explained, "I dropped my axe into the river. Without it, I cannot work." The fairy smiled and said, "Don't worry, I will help you." She dove into the water and returned with a shiny golden axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. Ahmed looked at the golden axe and shook his head. "No, that is not my axe," he replied honestly. The fairy dove again and came back with a silver axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. Again, Ahmed shook his head. "No, that is not my axe either," he said. Finally, the fairy brought Ahmed's old iron axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. Ahmed's face lit up with joy. "Yes, that is my axe," he exclaimed. The fairy was impressed by Ahmed's honesty. She said, "Because you were truthful, I will give you all three axes, the golden, the silver, and your iron axe." Ahmed was very happy and thanked the fairy. He used the golden and silver axes to help others and continued to live a humble and honest life. Moral of the story: honesty is always rewarded. Being truthful brings trust and blessings in life.
In the cheerful town of Sparkleville, Barbie was known for her kind heart. She always helped others, from fixing toys to cheering up her neighbors. Everyone called her Kind Heart Barbie. One sunny morning, Barbie found Fluffy, the mayor's bunny, lost near her garden. "Don't worry, Fluffy, I'll take you home," she said, gently picking him up. As Barbie walked through town, she noticed something unusual. People looked sad, and the laughter that once filled Sparkleville was gone. Even the town square's sparkling fountain looked dull. "What's wrong, Mrs. Willow?" Barbie asked the florist. "Everyone's too busy to help one another these days," sighed Mrs. Willow. That night, Barbie thought of a plan. "What if we have a kindness parade?" she said. "A day where everyone can spread joy through small acts of kindness." The next morning, Barbie got to work. She decorated a float with flowers, ribbons, and balloons, naming it the Heart of Kindness. Ken helped her make musical instruments, while Skipper painted banners that read, "Kindness is magic," and "Spread a smile today." Barbie visited every home, inviting everyone to join the parade. "All you need to do is one kind act," she said, handing out kindness badges for participants. On the big day, Barbie wore a sparkly pink dress and rode the Heart of Kindness float with Fluffy by her side. Music filled the air as the parade began. Soon, acts of kindness started spreading like magic. Little Mia helped her brother tie his shoelaces. Mr. Green, the baker, handed out cupcakes. Even Whiskers, the grumpy cat, let a bird perch on his tail. As kindness grew, the town fountain began to sparkle again, and a rainbow appeared in the sky. Laughter returned to Sparkleville, and everyone felt happier. Suddenly, a bright light appeared. A fairy named Felicity fluttered down, her wings shimmering. "Barbie, your kindness has brought joy back to Sparkleville," Felicity said, handing Barbie a glowing heart pendant. "This will remind you that kindness creates magic everywhere." Barbie smiled. "Thank you, Felicity, but it was everyone's kindness that made the magic happen." From that day, Sparkleville became the happiest town, and the Kindness Parade became an annual tradition. Barbie's glowing pendant continued to inspire her to spread kindness everywhere she went. Once upon a time, in a cozy little village, there lived a young girl named Aisha. She had bright eyes that twinkled with curiosity and a heart full of kindness. Aisha loved to play in the garden with her family, especially with her father, who cherished her laughter more than anything else. One sunny afternoon, while playing indoors, Aisha accidentally knocked over her father's favorite mug. It fell to the floor with a loud crash, shattering into pieces. Aisha's heart sank, for she knew how much her father loved that mug. The room suddenly felt silent, and Aisha felt scared. She worried about what her father might say, fearing he would be upset with her carelessness. For a moment, she thought about keeping it a secret, but then she remembered a story her mother had told her about the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and his unwavering truthfulness. The story was about how truthful the Prophet was, and how he always spoke the truth even when it was difficult. Encouraged and inspired, Aisha decided that she must do the right thing. Taking a deep breath, she gathered all the broken pieces of the mug and went to her father. She found him in his study, reading. Aisha approached him with a mixture of fear and determination in her steps. "Father," she said softly, "I need to tell you something." Her father looked up, seeing the mug's broken pieces cradled in her small hands. "I'm really sorry. I accidentally broke your favorite mug." A silence followed for a brief moment. Then Aisha's father smiled gently. He knelt down to her level and said, "Thank you for being honest, my dear. Always encouraged us to be truthful. Do you remember what the saying is?" Aisha nodded, recalling the words her father often told her. "Truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise." Her father hugged her warmly, and Aisha felt a wave of relief wash over her. She realized that honesty wasn't something to fear. Rather, it was something that made her feel braver and closer to her father. From that day on, Aisha understood the importance of honesty, for it builds trust and makes one brave, just like her hero, the prophet. With her father by her side, she knew that even when things seemed scary, being honest was always the best path to take.
Once upon a time in the magical kingdom of Glittervale, there lived a kind and curious princess named Lila. She had long golden hair that shimmered in the sunlight and eyes as blue as the sky. Princess Lila loved exploring. While most princesses spent their time in the palace, Lila loved running through the meadows, climbing trees, and discovering hidden wonders. Her best friend was a tiny hummingbird named Twinkle, who always perched on her shoulder. One sunny morning while Lila was playing near the Crystal River, she noticed something unusual. A golden butterfly with wings glowing like the moon flitted past her. "Wow, that's the most beautiful butterfly I've ever seen," she exclaimed. Twinkle chirped, "That's no ordinary butterfly, princess. It's the star flyer. They say it leads to something magical." Without thinking twice, Lila followed the butterfly. It flew over hills, through flower-filled meadows, and deep into the whispering woods, a forest no one dared to enter. "Are you sure about this, Lila?" Twinkle asked nervously. "Don't worry, Twinkle. Adventure awaits," she said with a giggle. As they ventured deeper, the forest began to sparkle. The trees glowed softly, and the air smelled like sugar cookies. Finally, the butterfly stopped in front of a giant tree with a golden door carved into its trunk. "Knock 3 times," a soft voice whispered. Lila took a deep breath and knocked. The door creaked open, revealing a magical land filled with candy-colored clouds, waterfalls made of liquid gold, and talking animals wearing tiny hats. "Welcome, Princess Lila," said a cheerful bunny with a top hat. "You found the land of dreams." "Land of dreams?" Lila asked, her eyes wide with wonder. "Yes," the bunny replied. Only those with pure hearts can find their way here. You can make one wish and it will come true. Lila thought for a moment. I wish for everyone in my kingdom to be as happy and full of wonder as I feel right now. The bunny waved his wand, and a burst of glitter filled the air. Your wish is granted! When Lila and Twinkle returned to Glittervale, everything had changed. The kingdom sparkled like the land of dreams, and everyone was laughing, dancing, and playing. From that day on, Princess Lila was known as the Sparkling Princess, not just because of her heart, but because she brought magic and happiness to everyone she met. And so Princess Lila and Twinkle continued to explore, spreading joy and wonder wherever they went.